Well, yesterday was a good trip. We've got many things done. We've got a garage that's definitely starting to fill up. We have the Yamaha, Kawasaki, the new Kawasaki, new / old. So we have our weatherproof strip down at the bottom here. That's stopping all the wind getting in. I've got radiator 1 here, radiator 2 over there. So hopefully we'll start to get the temperature up here a wee bit. Because right now we're sitting just under 10. That was about 4 this morning. So yeah, I think we've got some parts to build. We've got the base, the bottom bit of the casing here, and I think we're ready to start putting an engine together. So Gary's done some welding here. We made from my previous place that I used to work. He's done the welding for us there. He's very honest. He said it's an amateur job, but it was making sure that it got done. It needs filing and grinding to get it smoothed out. But to be honest with you, I think he's for the work he's done, and he hasn't charged us a penny. I can't complain at all. It's doing the job that I need it to do, and hopefully we can clean it off and get it to look good. So let's get that set up, and let's see if we can do just that. So now we've went around and taken the abrasive brush around all of these, just to get them like cleaned up that little bit more. The vapor blasting did really good, but I just wanted to make sure it's touched up on all of the other points. Try to polish these a little bit there as well, but I don't really want to take any material off, and I'm a bit apprehensive about changing that, if I'm honest. So I think what we'll do is get in crack on. I'll get the valve paste out, and we'll start getting these valves seated and going from there. So what I've got on here is I've got a coarse paste and a fine paste. What we're going to do is basically get our valves. We're going to put a little bit of grinding paste around the edge here, get them into where they need to go. Use the little plunger, stick them down, and then we'll use this one here and just a back and forth motion, up and down a couple of times. We'll do that with a coarser one, and then we'll switch it over, clean it up, and then we'll do it with a fine grade one. And then hopefully that should create a nice seal for the valves. So a nice ring around it there. Push the valve in. That's what I'm listening for. Is a smooth consistency. Not really a grinding, but more of a polishing sound. Nice and smooth. Make sure you get all the paste off. So even one little granule, one little bit of grit goes in there. You won't see your valves right. So nice and consistent. What I'm going to do is basically blow through here while pushing this down just gently, and then seeing if anything comes through. No, obviously you can buy little tests and stuff, but I don't have a compressor, I don't have anything like that. This is just homework, so. Nice. Yeah, that's got good little pressure on that as well. Spring will hold it back a lot and your finger will just doing that as well, so that's really, really good. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Let's get these back out, put them back where they originally came on. Got the wee box here. And it's got everything in there. So if that creaky sound is just me mount. So yeah, we'll do all of the intake valves and then we'll do the exhaust valves after. We'll get them done in that row. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ditch the coarse one because we're going to done a good polish on everything and the vapor blaster's getting a lot. So we'll just stick with the fine grit and then go over it a few more times, a few more rolls, a few more passes. Because the fine is getting it there. I don't want to put the coarse one on when we haven't really got any carbon build up anymore. So yeah, I think we'll be fine with just that. So I think this will show how good it works or not. So we've got the exhaust valves and you can see the shine where they've actually, the valve grinding's been done. And then on the exhaust valves, you can just barely make out where it's actually starting to come through. So hopefully I'll do the grind on this one and then see how it comes up. But I think it's just showing how much the difference is of well, what they basically go through and what they needed. Polishing them up is it's really worked, but this is the final process to get them to seal the way that we need to, so we get the compression that we do. It shows a prime example of what the difference is right there then. Really happy with that. Really happy with that, because look at this now. The difference there is huge from where we were. Just black. Shows what the difference is straight away. So I think we're going to get carry on this, and I think we're definitely happy with this progress, to be fair. Let's crack on. Yeah, so we're going to have this one rocking and rolling. We're going to get all the valves in and then we'll get everything built up. We'll get on the other side, valve springs, everything done. So we'll get this basically built up from here and flip it over, and we'll start from the bottom end. We'll start from the bottom end of the engine and then start building it back up. But hopefully we'll have within the next day or two built engine, and we'll see if we can get her in the frame and we'll see if we can crack on from there. Yeah, so boom, boom, boom. So we're going to start with number one. Number one. Number these. I need my little magnet. There she is. And the valve tool assembling. Remember rightly, I think we were here. Because I think we were, yes, that is it. And then I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then as a part of my gasket kit, I should have valves, valve seals. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can see here we've got the valve going through, and then we have this here for the bottom. I'm just going to get this one here Put the ever so smallest amount on. That goes all the way down there. Make sure it's all the way down nicely. Get all that around it. And then we have the a bit of oil on there actually as well. So we've got the valve seals, push them on just nice. Then I've got our springs for number 1. So then what we'll do, get the compression tool. So basically this just squeezes it from one end to the other. It's hard to line it up while it's on the camera. Sorry. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze this round. You can see this is just compressing it together. And then inside here, we've got the little collets that sit on the top. Usually we get these a little magnet, but I'll just drop them on. There's one. And there's 2. So you can see that fits in there. Lovely. Basically that's going to get pushed in there. And then as I release this, like a little cone, this sits on the inside and pushes up, squeezes it together, holds it in place. Lovely. And just to explain a little bit better, when we have the valve and we have these little collets that sit on the end, these sit inside them, right in this little ridge here, and they just hook straight in, and as you pull it up, this little cone, as you're pushing them down, this will push these out and it'll hold them in place, and that's what you can see there, and that's what's happening there. So now we've got the top end built, what we can do is move on to the bottom end. So let's start to get the bottom end built. Let's get everything prepared. Could do with really a light above this, couldn't it? So you can see better in there. So you want to get this bottom end built up. And you get the gearbox in, the transmission, get that all in, get the new seals in, and then get it all built up from there. Then we'll start with the new bearings and getting the seals in, probably the crank as well. Yeah, we're just going to get everything built up from the bottom upwards. So let's go. So what I'm going to do is heat this up, try and get this bearing in there so it's just an easier fit. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. these in here so I can get that over. I should be able to spread that over properly. There we go. Yeah, let's get it in, give it a turn. Give it a couple of turns first. That feels alright, that feels good. I'm back happy with that again. Let's have a look at the rest of the assembly. It's literally the only piece I didn't take out, so I'm just double checking it really. And this way, so yes, I'm going to go in here. Go all the way along this way. Can you still see that? Yeah. So we have the wee pin. Ta-da. So that is facing out. This wee lad is going to go in here, and that's going to what's pushed up onto there. And then this one is going to be from the other side. It just holds that position. See where it slots into there. Now this had a particular way of going on. Let's confirm that. Yeah, so it just slots in there, so it's on the side there. That bolts on. See as you're turning through, going into that little slot there, and that's just going to keep that in place. Nice. Bend this one back up. That just bends up to stop the vibrations inside. Stop this coming loose. There we go. Try and get them all lined up, isn't it? Yeah, so now we've got the bottom built for this side. What we're going to do is we are going to put in. Get that back again. Yeah, we're going to put in the bottom end bearings. So I've got a brand new bearing set. Just took them out and cleaned them down. We're going to use some assembly lube. We're going to use some assembly lube, and then what that does is when we first start up the engine, when we first start up the engine, it just means that it's pre-lubricated, so we don't have to get the oil up, round, up everywhere. It helps a lot. We could just use some oil there, but this one just sticks and lasts that way a bit longer. So I'm going to continue with that and get it done. But yeah, so let's get all these assembled and in really. And we did the measurements and we did the before, they were all the same size, so that's actually ideal. The previous ones that came out, they didn't have too much wear. A few of you pointed out that they seemed alright, but with it already being out, I thought, let's just actually get it done, you know. If it's out and it's going to get done, let's do it right. It is a budget build, but realistically, not too much money these, to be fair. I think it was 70 quid for the full set, including the conrod bearings. Nice sticky stuff, this. Get that right in there. This can sit for a while as well, but we don't need it to, so that's alright. Do the bearings first, then we'll move on to the gearbox. Just tapping them down a bit, you know. Don't be shy with the lube either. Just going to go ahead and put the half rings on. Just the seals. So we've got this side here for these up, and we've got the full one drop in. There we go. There we go. Lovely jubbly. It stops the, yes, yeah, it must do. But got this here at this side here, which will hold it in place. Oh. Nice. So that's down for a second. See what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to heat this up to get that bearing in. Now I've put this in just because I wanted to make sure I had the right bearings on. I think it's going to have to come out later before I put the crank on. Well, soon really, but I just wanted to make sure that was the right bearings in place and everything like that before we start moving on. So not a problem at all. Plus I've got the, we'll just take it out pretty easy anyway, to be fair. Now the bearings are in place, could probably just do that now. Alright, so before we get this one all right, before we get this all lined up, let's get our seals on. Let's get our seals on. And then this should be this way. And we can technically use this to get everything all lined up. Chain on. Got a timing chain. Right, okay. Straight right. Seals on the wrong sides. There we go. Alright, so now probably made the top and bottom together. This is going to need sealing. So, I'm gonna get this gonna be mounted. Oh, that's went on exceptionally well. No, amazing brass bolts, we'll never see them, they're all at the bottom. I got my wrench. Let's have a look. What is 11 foot-pounds in Newton meters?
Here is information from Tank Tools USA.
14.9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
18 foot-pounds is 24 Newton meters. We'll go open. Oh, we're doing alright there, we're not too bad. Right. We'll find the right one straight away. So this one or this one? Slightly bigger than that one. This one. Yes. Oh. Be safe, I love you. So where we are with now is we need to get the sump on. However, the sump is one that I forgot and was sitting at the bottom of the pile. So the sump, I need to clean this up, get all the old gasket off. I'll probably just go over it with a bit of heat and a bit of the wire brush, and that should come up pretty well. But yeah, I need to get this cleaned up properly. There we go. 3. This is smaller, it doesn't say what size they are, so I guess we're gonna have to, well, I guess we're gonna have to guess. Oil filter's been pre-stripped soaked. You can see it's dripping through there. So let's get that back in. We're just getting everything all nicey nice. Bottom plates on, new gaskets in. Yeah, the gaskets fit really nice as well, to be fair. It's not overlapping too much. Not much to trim off. Slightest bit there. I wouldn't really think that's too much to worry about. We're all ready at this side. That's came up nicer than what I thought it was going to. I'm actually quite proud of myself on that one, to be fair. So it's not as the cleanest one, but when it flips upside down, which we'll do now, it should be that way a bit better. Right, I think we're looking pretty well. So that weld came up nice there. It's going to be from the bottom of the bike anyway. We've got everything all built up from the top. New bearings in all round. Chain on. Everything's ready to rock and roll. I think we're in a pretty good place right now. Let's keep going. Right, we've got some bad news. I've packed them away again, but the piston rings are not the right ones. They're sitting too proud of the grooves, so they're sitting right far out. So when we're trying to push them actually in, and we're trying to get them into to squeeze together so we can get into the cylinder, they're sitting too prominent out. So they're clearly the wrong set of rings. Bit of a bummer. I don't know what I'm going to have to do, because I couldn't find them anywhere, and these are the only guys that I found actually had them in, and they're the wrong ones. I think I might just send him the pistons and see what he can basically muster up. But yeah, not great, not the best, not what I wanted. Essentially puts everything on a hold. There's nothing that can get done unless these are built. So yeah, I'll drop them a wee message and see what they say.
So I got in touch with the guys at IMD Pistons, and he was really helpful. You heard him run out the back to double check the rings. It turns out it's just the middle ring that came in correct. So he rectified the issue. He sent another ones out next day postage. Of course, I was working away for a week at the time, but we got the other ones. He was really responsive, so we're still rocking and rolling on time.
Yeah, so from this one, we've got the engine to go into the frame. We're going to get the cylinders on first. We're going to get the pistons on top of the conrods. We're going to get the rings on, of course. They're already sized up and everything like that from the factory. I've already checked that one. That's great. So we're going to get the piston rings on the pistons. We're going to get the pistons on top of the conrods here, and then we are going to basically start and then get the cylinder on. So then that's going to make it easier and less fiddly to do down here, and then we'll get that in there. But I think, well, time's ticking away a bit, so we'll get this one done and we'll get it built up, and yeah, I think we're good. Time is ticking, but not all bad. Right, so now that we're all connected, I need to get the small little pins in. Now these pins are these small little ones, so these just fit inside of here, and then it just holds it into a small groove, and that just makes sure that it just doesn't come out, and it just holds it in place nicely. So we're on the next day. We've got the rings installed, we've got studs installed, we've just put the chain guide in, and now we are ready to start putting the cylinders over the top. We've got our gaskets, we've got everything to use. We need to put in the oil, this little squirter guide things. Again, never with the names. The little squirters that go in here. Another one in the other side here. And what these do is cause a little bit more pressure for the oil to go up and through. Then we need now a new gasket on here, and we need the O-rings for here as well. Now everything's been lined up, all the guideways, all the run-throughs, everything like that. We need the new O-rings on there. Right, we've got the new O-rings on. Wasn't keen on the other ones. That's why we carry spares. So we need to get the studs on in the right order that they came off.
So what I'm doing here is just sliding the cylinders over the top of the studs and then lining it up with the pistons. So with the bottoms of the cylinders being like a cone shape, it just guides the pistons and the rings into place. But what I don't want to do is push anything too much. So what I've done is I'm using a small pick tool just to lean up through and basically push them into place that little bit easy, you know. Just trying to give a little bit of guidance, and that seems to have worked perfectly fine. So the slide over the top almost none the bother. Studs were a bit stiff where the actual threads are, but it worked no problem getting them up the top once it was in place. Wasn't really any pressure on the rings, it was more on the studs and the actual guides for them that actually ended up being the hassle. So once I've got the pistons in place, I could, well, abuse it a little bit more to get it over the top, you know.
I'm comfortable with that. So now we've got everything built up to here. What we're going to do is get the engine and put it into the frame. The reason I'm doing it now is because we've got the top to go on to, and I want to make sure that I've got enough room to move things about. So get the tank off and then get the engine into the frame there. Gives us a little bit lighter, easier work around, so I'm going to get that done now. Awesome. Straight through, easy peasy. We've got an engine in a bike. It just feels alien. So now what we'll do, now we have her in and she's sitting well. Make sure the base of this is nice and clean. And we did the valves and got everything sorted for it. She is sitting really good. We'll get our chain guide on before we go anywhere. Right. We need to get the cover on here, and then we need to get the starter motor on and some bits and bobs on here. So I've put the new seals in, so we're ready to go on there, and I'll just get everything together. So got some fresh new O-rings on this little ring. So I think before we get any further on this side, because I'm looking at this and I know that the ball's going to have to come, the pin's going to have to come through, the ball's going to have to go on the end and things like that. I think we'll do the clutch side first, get all the clutch and everything on, and then go back to this side. I just think it'll make the process a wee bit easier, really. Just thought as well, when we get to this side, this is going to be starting soon. Might as well check to see, take this battery out, and then put it on charge for a bit. Right, so we've got our clutch. Our clutch basket's going to go onto here, full clutch kit, and go from there. I haven't bought a new clutch, as I didn't know if there was anything wrong with it or not. However, yeah. And that was it. I think that might have been it. Anyway, got a new bearing. Right, let's get fitted. So sorry about that once again. It hasn't been recording, but what we've done is we've got the clutch basket on. So there is 7 friction plates and 6 plain plates. We've got the thrust washer and the full system all in, sleeve bearing, washer spring, outer drum, everything all ready to go. So let's keep on going this. Sorry, the camera keeps beeping away and then saying error. I've reset the SD card. It is a proper SD card as well, so, but it is unfortunately just one of them things that we have to work with. So let's keep it going. Yeah, so we've got everything made up, all bolts, everything attached on, everything's done from that side. We just need to get the cover on now. I'm thinking for the cover, because I've done this black here, I'm thinking about the covers black and then leave the rest how they are, and I think that would look nice. Let us know what you think anyway, because I'll be having to make that decision soon. Right, we've got the clutch assembly all assembled. We need to do the points now, and then we'll switch and move to the other side. I've just left a couple of the bolts loose just for the mounts, and I haven't put the 3 stages in for that mount either, which is dangling down here somewhere, so I wouldn't lose it. So yeah, let's keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Hey matey. So now, apart from having the covers on, we're pretty much done on this side. I've got the cable to chase through and stuff like that, but I'm not really going to bother with that, to be fair. Yeah, so we'll get this back on the other side. We'll flip over to the other side and then we'll keep on going.
After that. Right, okay. So good one.
Right, so now we've got the cover on, we've got the starter motor in, we've got the top all set up and ready to go. Right, it's been a long day, but we're making good progress. So we need to get the valves in, tappets in, and then rock and roll. So I've got everything in the order that came out of. And we're going to get all of these in. And hunky dory. Yeah, so before we get these bolted down and everything on top, I want to get this near enough where it needs to be in terms of timing. So we need to get obviously the points. This is the automatic timing unit, so we need to get that to where it needs to be for the points, and we'll get these marks lined up as well. We'll get the books out, we'll get it near enough where it needs to be, and it'll just make it all that easier when we get sorted now. So you can see here, as we're going to do it, we need to get these points lined up. So this will be from the outside, and then same for the other one, just being the opposite way around. And we need to line it up for the markings, hopefully you can see on here, for the markings actually on the chain gears itself. But yeah, we need to do all that one ideally before it's bolted down, and then confirming everything when it is down there, just in case we've made sure we haven't jumped any teeth or anything. But yeah, let's have a good one with that. So we've got the time marks on, these facing the outside, and this is where it is. So we can start just gently bolting these down a little bit at a time.
Have like two people in the conversation, and obviously whoever you're talking to has a bone to pick with one. The other one tries to step in and see if they can change like the dynamic.
Yeah. Get on our chain tensioner while everything's in there. Right, so now we've got everything all in place. We need to torque these down, and then we need to put on, I've got a few little bits and bobs. We've got new end rubbers, new boards for the sprockets as well, new centre board for the sprocket also, and a new set of spark plugs. So let's get some sealant on, let's get these ends cleaned up, and let's get them on the end here. And then plop them in there. Look how it's got a wee ridge as well. So it's pushing it on the outside, so it's always going to be under. Gasket on, and then straight after that, let's get lined up. Get our top cover on as well. What I'll do is I'm just going to put like maybe 6 bolts in this, the 2 end ones, 2 closest ones, maybe 8 bolts in actually, yeah. So I'm going to get a few bolts in here just to hold it down. Just want to see if the oil's circulating around and things like that once I get all the wiring done. Right, now all the top bolts are down and everything's gone. What I want to do before I chuck all the other stuff down and everything like that, I want to just basically get the electronics up to the starter motor, get it all turned over. I want to make sure the oil pump's getting oil all the way from the bottom to the top of the engine. And once we've got that cleared, that I know that the heart is working, I think we can put the top back on, put the carbs in, and then see if we can get it fired up. But before we do that, I need to know that she's getting oil everywhere, so let's figure that out first. Oh yeah, we have power, we have power, we have power. Ooh. The indicators are on. Whoosh. Right, what have we got going through this to give us what we need for a starter? Oh, yes, we're good. Right, that sounds good. We've got a little bit of smoke just coming from where the earth was, because it's a bad earth, we just need to bolt it down properly. Needs to be on the frame and the engine really, but that's sounding pretty good. I'm pretty confident with that. Need to get the top cover back off, make sure that the oil's been circulating around properly, make sure that it's getting everywhere that it needs to be, and then we'll put the coils back on, put the new plugs in, and yeah, with the carbs, see what we've got. But we could have it started here. Yes, we've got some oil coming up here. Yeah. Good flow there. And get the coils on. Let's put the rubbers on. Every lad's story forgets to put the rubbers on. So should be able to get the carbs on now. And then from that one, let's get the push pull. So I think this one is on. Boom, boom. Over and that. perfect seal, but it doesn't have to be. So we've got all the throttle and everything working. We've got a new set of spark plugs that we're going to put in now. We need to get some fuel in here. I've got fuel as well, so that's ideal. Fresh stuff. And then, oh, potential. Right, it's working under pressure. And get some fuel in. Get some fuel in, just fire it and see how she goes. Or does that push them a look? Do a presses. Nice. Right. Get this here. Get this going. Nice. I don't think I have connected the choke, but it's not going to open. Smell the fuel. I can't see any fuel. Oh, what an idiot. What an absolute idiot. So the car's always in there, I'm overexcited, I forgot to plug them back in. In hell. No way.
It's alive!
That's gonna run. Holy. Got no exhaust or anything on. Wow. Okay.
It's alive!
Good timing, wasn't it?
Very well done.
Thanks, man.
Very well done. Sounds good. Sounds really good. When are we going for a drive? Tomorrow. Bye.
Oh. Yeah, I think we're running. You see, we overcooked on this. It's quite easy to sort out. Just bring it back. I think it started with a choke as well.
Yeah.